Hello, and welcome to Meet the Masters. In this episode, we're highlighting Jingtai, an aggressive, staff-wielding skirmisher with high mobility, stacking damage buffs, and enemy displacement skills. Hailing from a secluded village on Earth, Jingtai is a survivor of the Sind Purge. By fighting with the Reclamation Fleet, he honors the memory of his fallen master, who taught him balance and his unique staff fighting techniques. As a skirmisher, Jingtai is a potent, in-your-face damage dealer, but can also be kitted to peel for his allies or help initiate a teamfight. Jingtai's weapon is the Jin Gang Staff. Jingtai strikes with a staff combo that increases in speed as you continue to attack, and will knock enemies into the air at the end of the combo. The weapon can be augmented for increased damage, increased attack speed, or increased range. His passive skill is Staff Fighter, which has two parts to it. First is Endurance, which restores a large amount of Jingtai's stamina after he uses 4 skills. The second part is Cascade of Blows, which increases Jingtai's weapon damage by 2% with each successive hit within a short period of time, up to 10 stacks. For his survival skill, Jingtai balances on top of his staff, avoiding all damage for a short time. For an additional stamina cost, he can then leap from the staff in the direction of the mouse cursor. Jingtai strikes with blinding speed using Million Staff Burst, dealing channel damage over the skill's duration and lowering the target's defense for a short time. Moving or attacking will interrupt the channel. Ranking up this ability improves its range, scope, and allows you to stack the defense debuff up to 2 additional times. Jingtai dashes a short distance and sends enemies flying backwards with Sweep Aside. He can activate this skill a second time to also perform a gap-closing leap afterwards. Rank up this ability to add crowd control immunity and knock down enemies when pushing them backwards. The staff wielder gains a huge amount of mobility with Bounding Strike. After charging up this skill, Jingtai leaps a great distance and deals damage to enemies in the target area. The distance Jingtai can travel increases the longer you hold the skill. Ranking up this skill will add a knockdown effect within the landing zone. Fling dashes to a targeted enemy within range and tosses them backwards over Jingtai's shoulder. This skill does no damage and only affects a single target. Ranking up this skill increases the distance an enemy is tossed and also slows them for a short time. Jingtai's ultimate skill is Spirit of Protection. Jingtai projects a spiritual image of himself forward, dealing damage to enemies in a line and blocking projectiles. When ranked up, the skill's width increases and blocked projectiles will be reflected instead. Jingtai is one of the most mobile masters in MXM, and thus he can be utilized in aggressive, defensive, and support roles. When kitted out with Bounding Strike and Million Staff Burst, Jingtai is extremely difficult to run from. Damage buffs from his basic attack, on top of the burst and defense-shattering debuff from Million Staff Burst, make dueling Jingtai a dangerous game. For defense and support, kit Jingtai with Sweep Aside and Fling. On the front line, any enemy that gets too close can easily be tossed back and pushed into the pack of allies waiting in the wings. On Titan Ruins, Jingtai excels at keeping altar heroes off of towers by tossing and knocking them away when their CC immunity fades. When playing against Jingtai, avoid going toe-to-toe with him. His damage buffs drop off fast, so try to keep moving to interrupt his stack. While his damage is dangerous, pay close attention to the skills he's chosen so you don't find yourself inadvertently flying into the entire enemy team. And remember, if you're thinking about committing to a fight with Jingtai, depending on his chosen skills, he has up to 4 different ways to close the gap should you have to run. Jingtai is a powerful and versatile master who, when played correctly, can brawl, protect objectives, and serve up kills to his team on a silver platter. Thanks for watching. You can learn more about other masters at playmxm.com, and be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube for more info.